Segmenting your list doesn't have to be complicated. In fact, there's really only 3 types of tags that I recommend you have to keep your segmentation simple and make selling a whole lot easier. In this video, I'll share with you those 3 types of tags and show you how I can get them set up in minutes. There's 2 traps that a lot of people fall into when it comes to segmenting their list. The first trap is they make a tag for everything, every open, every click, every button, and it's just too much. And before you know it, you have hundreds or thousands of tags and no way to tell anybody apart. The second trap people fall into is they don't segment anything and everybody's just in one big bucket, and it's hard to get the right message to the right person at the right time if you fall into that second trap. I've been running an online business for a long time. I've sent thousands of emails. I've set up hundreds of automations. And so when it comes to segmenting, in this video, I'm going to show you the simplest way to do it, where it's also really effective. The first tag type is what I call a driver tag. And a driver tag is acting as a trigger where whenever that tag gets applied or removed from somebody in your email system, something happens. So the most common way that I use a driver tag is if, let's say, somebody purchases a product from me, then the purchase tag is applied for that specific product. So the tag name would be purchased dash product name. And the application of that tag, which ideally happens automatically from wherever you're selling stuff. I use Samcart. So Samcart, kindly enough, will automatically apply that purchase tag, and that will act as a trigger or a driver to then send them the post-purchase confirmation email and tell them what to do next. Another simple example of a driver tag is, let's say you track clicks, which I also recommend. So let's say you're promoting a workshop and it's happening next week. Whenever somebody clicks the link to go check out the sales page for that workshop, then you should apply a tag that says clicked dash product name. And a fun trick you can do is if somebody clicks that link, then that applies the click tag. And then if your sales system applies the purchase tag, what you can do is now have a segment of people who have the clicked tag, but they don't have the purchase tag. So the application of that tag where they click on the product could then trigger an automation to follow up with them. Let's say it waits 30 minutes, then it checks to see if they bought the workshop yet or not. Then it can follow up with them in a really nice contextual way to have them complete their purchase. And that way you're doing some super simple email retargeting just by the application of these driver tags. So the ones I recommend you apply is anytime somebody buys a product, then make sure you apply a purchase tag and then denote what did they buy. Anytime somebody clicks a link to go buy a product, then you should also track that click. And I also do it if you're doing anything free. Like let's say you have a free school group, or you have a free webinar, or a free training, or a free lead magnet. I think it's also important to track those clicks because you can also do that super simple retargeting to see who clicked but didn't register. So they have the link that they clicked on the new lead magnet I made, but I don't see the tag that they downloaded the new lead magnet that I made. And you can do some simple retargeting there as well. The second type of tags I recommend you have in your system are status tags. Now, status tags are temporary. Like if I said, I'm cold right now. That's temporary. My name is Cody, but I'm not always necessarily going to be cold, right? It's a seasonal thing. So that's what a status tag does. It's applied during a season and then it's taken away. And let me give you some practical examples. Let's say that you have a welcome series, and in my world, I teach a 3-part welcome series. And if you're in that welcome series, then that's temporary. You're there for now, but you won't be there forever. So you might apply a tag that says, do not disturb. They're in my welcome series, right? It denotes to your system that temporarily they're in this bucket where something's happening and I don't want to bother them with other marketing. And on that note, a do not disturb tag is a simple tag I apply. It's kind of a bonus outside of these categories, but just a simple tag. I just put D&D, does not mean Dungeons and Dragons. To me, it means do not disturb. And that just means they're actively in some kind of promotion or automation. So if you're getting a 3-day follow-up post-purchase email sequence, then I'll apply the D&D tag, do not disturb tag at the start of that automation. Then the automation will happen. And at the end of the automation, once the goal is complete, I'll remove the D&D. So in that way, a do not disturb tag is a perfect example of a status tag because it's temporarily applied. Another simple use of a status tag is, let's say you have a membership. So I have a membership, it's called Email School. And as much as I would like to say when people join Email School, they stay forever, they don't. As if you run a membership or you have a coaching program or some kind of continuity offer, you know that there are people that are active clients and people that are inactive clients, meaning they've canceled or they've moved on. And so whenever somebody joins Email School, I do a couple of things. Number one, I apply a purchased tag, which is our third category of tags called historical tags. But I also apply a status tag that's called active. So it'll say active-email school. And that way, anytime I'm promoting something to members of Email School, talking about a call or a new product or a new program or a new class or a new bonus inside of the membership, that email just goes to people who have that active tag. If you ever cancel Email School, guess what happens? I keep the purchase tag because that hasn't changed. You bought email school at some point, but you're not active. So when people cancel the membership, I remove the active tag and I apply a new tag that I have called inactive. Similarly, if people decide to come back to email school, I do, guess what? I remove the inactive tag. They're not inactive anymore, they're back to active. So the application of an active tag or an inactive tag, those are simple statuses that can change at any moment. And the third type of tags that you want to use in your business are called historical tags. These never change. If you've been in my email system for a long time, there's a chance you have a few dozen historical tags. Maybe you came to an event I hosted back in 2019, or maybe you went to a free challenge I hosted back in March of 2020, or maybe you bought that first workshop I did in October of 2020. Those are not temporary. They're not status tags. It's pretty much everything that you've done in my life or in my business, right? So those historical tags live on the contact record. Now, this is useful because I can take somebody, let's say they buy one-on-one coaching with me. I can go back into their contact record in my email system and I can see a lot of things. I can see when they subscribed to my email list. I can see why they subscribed. They probably downloaded a lead magnet, probably from a Facebook ad, which is my favorite way to grow my email list. And I can also see, what did they buy? What workshops have they bought? What memberships have they been a part of? What have they clicked on and purchased in the past? It tells me a pretty good narrative based on their different historical tags that I've applied over the life of that contact in my system. So that's it. Those are the three different types of tags you need to run in your business. Quick recap. Number one are trigger tags or driver tags. Those are tags which apply some automation, like they do something. So typically a start tag or a stop tag saying start this automation. That's how I start my welcome series, is I apply a tag that says start welcome series. That tag is a driver tag because the application of that tag kicks off the welcome series automation. That's category number one, driver tags, because they drive an automation. Category number two are status tags. Those are temporary tags applied to people when they're meeting some criteria, like they're in a welcome series, so do not disturb them, or they're in another automation, so do not disturb, or they're active in the membership or active in a coaching program, or whenever they cancel, we remove the active tag and we apply an inactive tag. The status tags are temporary and just give us an idea of who's in what bucket of our system at any given moment. And the third type of tags are historical tags. And the historical tags live with that contact record for the lifespan of them being in your system. Now, I just gave you a really simple way that you can segment your email list. This is from my course called Simple Segmentation Secrets that is inside Email School. If you want to learn more about email marketing and really dial that in for your business so you can send better emails and make more sales, then click the link below to join Email School. And if you want to know, how do I get people on my list in the first place so I can then bother with segmenting them in a really good way, then watch the next video where I unveil my process for automating your list building with Facebook ads.